That one is just absolutely beautiful. There we go. Hey, everybody. Good to see you. Welcome to a special episode of Ghost Cats and Cryptids. We've been talking about it for a while, so I am going to just bring out my guest tonight, who I am so excited to collaborate with. Most of you know her as Curious Cryptids. Others know her as Miss Donna, but I am so thrilled that she's here and said that she would do this show with me, so I'm going to just bring her right out.
Hi, everyone.
Hey. So happy you could be here.
I'm so excited.
Are you sure? Because all I heard today was you commented to me, and then I see you commented to, I think, Jared as well, that you weren't going to do any talking. It was going to be me. You were just going to have your wine. So all day long, I was thinking we need to put our names up. You know, I'll be whiskey, you be wine.
I forgot the wine.
Oh, that's great. So I'm going to go back up here to the beginning, and we can say hi to everybody. Let's see. Yeah, I love that. I sent you a message saying I sent it the link in Messenger, and it goes through all the YouTube thing. So you got one from Richie and Sam saying the same thing, and it was just me. It's like you're being yelled at. Wojo was the first one in, although it says, "Hey, roller dog." So I was confused a little bit because I didn't see Tyler at first. And you were number 2. You've been waiting patiently. Let's see. Entering the unknown. Thank you so much for being here. Your show, if you guys didn't catch that show earlier this afternoon, please go back and check it out. It was really, really good. What Richie and everybody is trying to do is just, tell everybody we can do this all together, but we can do it respectfully. There doesn't need to be any grief, or really a lot of times it just gets to be a lot of BS. And, we're all tired of it. We want to be able to research respectfully, listen to other people's opinions, and know not everybody's going to agree, but we can do it nicely. So let's see. What else we got here? Come on, why aren't you moving down? Move down, move down. No, down. There we go. Curious entering. Hey, Denny, good to see you. Ernie Davio in the house. Tansei, Ernie. Jared from the Lowdown. Good to see you. Just watched you earlier today, too. That was a really good show, though, guys. Let's see. Finchie's in the house. Good to see you, Jason. And Kurt W. Kurt W. is in the house. Miss Mary, so good to see you. And am I missing? I'm getting down to the bottom here. It's a lot of repeating and stuff. Holy cow, there is a lot of comments already. Hey, TM Drake, how are you? And there's Sam. Sam's pretty paranormal. Holy cow, there is a lot. You guys are like going nuts tonight. This is great. I'm so happy you're here, but I think it's more or less because I've got Curious with me. She is fabulous. I always say what an amazing job she does. She is an absolute fantastic researcher, and that's why I asked her to help me out tonight, due to the fact that the topic that we had that had been brought up to me, D-Hoot was the one who brought it up during one of my other episodes. She wanted to know more about the Egyptian cats. And then Previously Possessed sent me on Instagram this video that had been going around with cat's eyes, and it went around the Egyptians, but it also went around the alien topic as well. So I was like, well, let's just do a deep dive into this. And boy, it was a deep dive, all right, because there's a lot going on. So we decided tonight that we will analyze cat's eyes, and it will be the history of it, the lore, and the science. So without further ado, I think we'll start with the history of it. And you said you had a lot on it, and I have a lot on it. So let's see what we've got that's similar and what we have that's not. So I figure we can start with D-Hoot's topic on the ancient Egyptian cats.
We're going to talk about the gods realistically. So there's three main Egyptian cat gods. You've got Bastet, you've got Sekhmet, and then you have got Mafdet. So the Egyptians, everyone seems to think that they link them to cryptids, as though the Egyptians saw cryptids, and that's why they had all these human-type gods with cats. Animals, but it wasn't. It's just everyday life. So they created gods from everyday life, so things that they needed. So, for example, the cats themselves, they were created as gods because they were having problems with pests. Mm-hmm. And so they looked at, if they had gods that they worshipped and they gave offerings to, then that would help. But they noted, obviously, cats in the fields were killing all the rats and snakes. So hence why you've got cat gods.
Yeah, and it is stated in many different aspects when you look up the ancient Egyptians that they brought them in as kind of pest control and to kind of guard their grains from the pests and stuff. And so they became like they were there as like a security. They also used the term with them too, with like fidelity and stuff. They were really thought a lot of. Cats became very, very highly
Yeah, there is a
praised.
dark side to it though as well. So they were that sought after because obviously the cats were mummified
Yeah.
because they were given as offerings. Do you know what I mean? They were buried with the people, buried with the pharaohs. But the dark side to it is they were that much in demand, the mummies, that they had what I suppose now is like a kiddie farm. So they were bred intentionally just to kill
Oh,
so that they could be buried. And 9 times out of 10, if somebody went and bought one to give offerings to the temples, there wasn't even a full cat inside there. They were just bits because they were that much in demand. So they'd turn the temples over in Egypt to breeding farms, basically. It's a bit like today where you hear the term puppy farm. So
yeah.
they were doing exactly the same thing back in ancient times.
Yeah, and that's strange that they were doing it because they did think so highly of them, and it was like if you harmed one accidentally,
It was death.
that was punishable by death. I mean, that was something you did. It didn't matter if it's an accident or not. You did not do it. It was a big, big no-no. And what I found even more so with the fact of how much they raved upon cats and stuff was one of the wars that they had. The Persians brought cats with them and put them in front of their army, and the Egyptians wouldn't attack. They were afraid of hurting the cats, and the Persians got the temple. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, like you said, it's punishable by death. So even today, I mean, they don't breed the cats anymore to obviously give offerings to, but they're still revered. There's a small island just off Luxor called Banana Island, and it's literally cats run free. You can go and visit, right in the centre there's like a little cafe where you can go and buy tins of cat food and you can go and feed the cats on the island, and they are taken care of. And the same at Philae. Philae Temple still has cats roaming around.
Yeah. And it's where they were so revered and stuff. I think sometimes because like with the video and stuff, they were like alien like, and then you get with like just the glare they had, but they the look that they have and the way the Egyptians did it, and like you said, they've got to have some type of god, so that's what they did. They kind of went around it, but they also believed because they were such good at the pest control and all that stuff, and they believed them to be like guardians of of the dead. I mean, they were just. It's strange how some cultures can like get an idea and then it just snowballs, beyond
Yeah, I
control. Like
mean,
you said, almost like a puppy mill. It was cat mill,
yeah.
for
But I mean,
mummified.
the Egyptians weren't the first people to mummify cats either. So the first ones, like 5,000 years before the Egyptians. So they found mummified cat remains in Cyprus, which are 10,000 years old. So it was well before the Egyptians started.
Yeah. Stories claim. Hey, Bimo, how are you? Stories claim that Anubic gods brought the cats to Earth to guard the thin places, the spiritual portals.
Yeah, I've heard that. That's the latest thing that's going around. I mean, everybody's heard the stories that the Egyptians couldn't have built the pyramids by themselves and that they had help from a greater force, shall we say, that aliens came down and helped them. And the story that's going around the internet at the moment is that the cats, because they were domesticated so easily, I mean, it was less than 1,000 years and you had domesticated cats in Egypt. So because they were domesticated so quickly and they took to humans so quickly, people are saying that the cats now are basically CCTV cameras for aliens. So they're keeping an eye on the planet.
So, I did not know that part. I knew that, that they do think they do use the term alien a lot with cats. But a lot of times it's just, it's because at one point there was no cat. I mean, there was there and stuff, but in other parts of Europe, there wasn't any. In Asia, the Middle East had them, and Egypt had them and stuff. But then they kind of spread, and it was what they considered one of those, like an alien invasion, because they weren't there before, and now they run rampant and stuff. And like you said, with like the speculation going on, one of the speculations was, the ancient Egypts altered the cat's eyes and stuff and everything, which I don't, I don't see that. I can see, some of the aspects that go with it, with not with that part of it, but I mean, it's just, there's a lot that a lot of these ancient cultures did and believed in and stuff that nowadays we'd look at and go, what?
They studied the cat's eyes. What they believed is cats are so revered because they believed that during the day the cat's eyes opened wider because of the light going in. So they believed, obviously, they worshipped Ra, didn't they, which is the sun god. So therefore they believed the cats were taking in Ra. And then at night they would close, so the pupils would close, and that was warding off evil. So again, they did study the eye, and for them, that's why they revered them, because they believed that these cats were close to Ra, which is the god, but also they ward off evil. And one of the cats, like Medfet, was the bodyguard, if you will, of the pharaoh. So he's the cat god that will go to the underworld. Do you know what I mean? And fight off Apophis.
Yeah. Hi, William. How are you? Good to see you. But then when you go past the ancient, Egypt, I mean, there's stuff that's still in history, but it's more in the folklore part of it. And we were discussing that because I wasn't quite getting it. And then you had mentioned one thing, because a lot of times people too, with a cat's eyes, they're very reptilian, and that's where you get the alien aspect of it too. A lot of people do that, that yes, they're alien because they've got these, their eyes are more reptilian. And we already know the reptilian alien aspect of things, but I wanted to kind of go with like the lore of like other things, like with the cryptids. And one that we both were discussing was the tasselworm, which is, when you brought that up, I was like, oh my gosh, I know the tasselworm. Because that one is supposed to be, a cryptid with a cat's head. It's got the cat's eyes. They're very, still very, kind of disconcerting. It only has the two front legs because the rest of the body is serpentine. And stuff.
But again, that goes back to, like, when you think about it. So cats were known to kill off snakes. So therefore, having a serpentine body, but it's got a cat's head, it kind of wards off the snake kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? It's there as a almost like a protector kind of.
And I'm trying to keep up with comments too. Too present throughout history. But you were, when you because you were kind enough to send me some of the stuff there that you were trying to explain to me. Not just with the tasselworm, but with just like the different eye shades. And stuff. And then other cryptids that, were,
I think you can break them down, can't you? You can break them down into, there's three categories, realistically. You've got your phantom cats, which are real cats.
Yeah.
But just in a different location. Then you've got your cryptid cats, which are relic species or hybrid species. So it's what cryptozoology look at as a real animal. So they will investigate it. And then you've got folkloric cats. So like Wampus cat is a folkloric cat. It was in like timber, like people from the forest, do you know what I mean, used to tell stories, fearsome critters. And I think it was designed around people going into lands saying, you know, they were taking over the lands, they were cutting down the trees, and obviously Indigenous people don't want them to do that, so they come up with these stories, don't go in there, you know, this fearsome cat will come and get you. So I think that's where the tales come from, all the folkloric tales.
Yeah, because there's lore all over the world on like because like you know when you talk about like the lore and different like things, I mean there's like different lore for like even because I'd never heard of it until I had talked to what was a werecat and stuff, and it's similar to the lore for you know a werewolf and stuff. It's like a shapeshifter type thing, but it's in every culture has their own version of things. It's like the Wampus cat, you know, and different stuff. There's all these different versions throughout, and trying to keep track of everything sometimes is very hard because it's like I try to stick with like the cryptozoology aspect, the animal aspect of it, but sometimes you can't help but kind of branch off in another direction when there's questions that you can't answer yourself, you know what I mean? So that's why it was like
Yeah, and it's so difficult because there's so many as well. Do you know what I mean? You have to have an encyclopedic brain to store it all, because there are that many. And like you said, every culture has their own cryptids. But when you look, like you can go to America, and America's like the cryptid culture of the world. They'll have cryptids which are similar to other cryptids in other parts of the world.
mhm.
Mm.
Yeah, and they do. And I mean a lot of like I was lucky enough to meet a people from other cultures and stuff with the job that I had at the ICM. And like I had said on one of my other shows, I met a nice young man from upstate New York who had been working over in Cambodia at the time. He was helping scientists set up trail camps to catch the local elephants in the forest to see which, you know, the patterns and stuff. But when they were headed out, the older people of the village, the older villagers, were warning all of them to make sure that they were respectful out there because if they weren't, like the tech would not tolerate that and stuff. And so when they're asking other people, the younger groups are going, oh, they're just crazy. And the tech I had discovered was their version of a Bigfoot. And they consider it, the older people consider it kind of like a protector of the forest. So I mean, like you said, there's cultures, but some of it, you know, we think of them as cryptids. Some people think of them as that's their history. That's, you know, what's there. That's what they know and stuff. So, and that brings in the lore part of it, even with like the cats and stuff. So,
Yeah, I think there's many cultures where, like Africa, for example, they don't believe in cryptids. Now they do Egypt. So Egypt says there are no cryptids. So even though there are what we'd call a cryptid, they do not believe in cryptids whatsoever. It's just part of their everyday life. They kind of live alongside these creatures. So they don't even, like South Africa, they don't even go hunting for their version of Bigfoot, shall we say. They leave him well be because he's just part of their life.
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there's so many different kinds of species of cat felines that haven't been discovered yet. And what they do. Yeah, well, it's true. I mean, cats are that way. It's they like to stay elusive. I mean, that's why the one that I did on the what they when I said ghost cats from around the world, a lot of those they can't get a proper count because they can't figure out how to track them. You know? So it's like, yeah, that's cats are that way. And you got to figure if you have, you know, a cat that way, and then you've got cryptids, because yeah, they're gonna be that exactly that way. Hey, previous. Good to see you. Um, so yeah, it's and I'm not I don't I mean I know lore from like around North America, but I don't know a lot of the, other lore from cultures and stuff. So that's why it was good when you started sending me some paperwork so I could go over some stuff. Like I said, with like the different, the eye colors that and what cryptids they're associated with that are feline, and stuff. It was very, very helpful. And I mean, your knowledge on ancient Egypt is a lot better than mine. I didn't know, stuff, but it's like, this is what I say though, when you do this stuff, you kind of go down some rabbit hole sometimes, and it's very hard to get out.
It is. I mean, like witnesses, like you talk about eyes, it's very hard to find witness statements that actually describe eyes. Do you know what I mean? Because if you think about it, a witness has seen something, 9 times out of 10 they're terrified. The last thing on the mind is looking at like what shape of an eye it's got. They'll tell you the colour. So people remember colour because they see it staring at them. But if you ask a witness, well, did it have a slit eye? Was it round? Do you know, was it teardrop shaped? They look at you and go, oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Well, a lot of times, even when you ask about any other cryptid and stuff, you ask for a description and they can say, well, it was big and it was this color, but you don't get a whole lot, because it's hard. I mean, you're looking at something and you're kind of in shock. You don't take in all the details. You're just kind of like, this isn't right. I know this isn't supposed to be here, or this thing's massive. And you're right, though. The eyes, I mean, that's going to be the last thing I'm looking at, except for the fact that I might be looking at them to make sure the thing's not looking at me. But I'm not going to be trying to figure out what color eyes they have or what shape eyes they have. Yeah, there are several cryptid cats out there that are talked about all over the place. But yeah. So were there any other like aspects of the lore with the cats?
There's, like I said, there's quite a lot of when you talk about lore, you're talking folkloric. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Basically, from my own research, what I'm looking at is, what is it? Can you categorize it as folkloric, or can you categorize it as an actual cryptid? Do you know what I mean? So, like for example, if you went to like Australia, Gippsland's tiger. So we know that tigers don't live in Australia. So is that coming under like phantom? Does it come under cryptid? Does it come under folklore? And I think depending on who you speak to, a lot of people would probably say, right, it's folkloric because we don't have tigers there. Yet you've got witnesses that say, no, it definitely is a tiger. And there have been sightings. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think for me, it's researching back in the history of, were there any tigers around at the time? Could it be like an escaped pet or something that was kept as an exotic pet? And if that's the case, then yeah, it would fall under, for me, like a probably under the cryptid category rather than folkloric.
Yeah. Cat's eyes, green or yellow, what I've seen. Yeah, there some mention of like a blue, I can't remember where I saw it. It was like one of the eyes has got almost like like an ice blue.
A nice blue colour.
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether that was the sliver cat, which has got ice
Maybe
blue.
Not. Maybe not.
And again, like it says, like cat's eyes are green or yellow.
Yeah, they are green or yellow, and I was trying to figure out where.
But when you do like cryptid cats or folkloric cats, 9 times out of 10 they're either yellow or red.
Yeah. Trying to figure out. Yeah, I can't find it now. But no, I thought I'd see, and it was just weird. And I think that like with people that see like not the green or the yellow. I mean, I know that there's red that's been seen, but a lot of times too is you've got to remember that there's a reflection sometimes, and it can alter the color, the lighting or whatever that you're seeing. Bluish green like ocean water. No, okay, that makes sense. The bluish green like ocean water. But yeah, and then so like I said, I go in more of an aspect of like the like this I try to William, I know this is the bad word, but the science world on for him. But so when you look at it through, we've looked at it through history, we've looked at it through lore. And if anybody's got any more that they want to know, please feel free. Ask. We like this. This is what we're here for. Siamese cats. Siamese cats do typically have blue eyes. I forgot about that. Very good, D Hoot.
Yeah. So apparently it's the phantom big cats are reported to have blue eyes.
What's that?
It's apparently the phantom big cats are reported to have blue eyes under folklore.
Yeah. Yep. That's what it was. I knew I saw one with a big cat. Well, the phantom cats there. That was the UK, wasn't it?
It was the UK. I think. Yeah, I'm not sure whether it was either the Beast of Bodmin or Beast of Exmoor. One of them had blue eyes, or it was reportedly to have blue eyes.
Yeah, and Siamese. Yeah, that's right. I should have remembered that anyways. My mom had Siamese cats when I was younger. But then you and the funny thing is though is when you like look into like the vertical slits and stuff for the animals, yes, reptiles have them, the domestic cats have them, and some small wild cats actually have them too. And it's just mainly because where they're lower to the ground, okay, they hunt near the ground. It helps with, like you said before, even with ancient Egypt, the pupils are slits, but in the sunlight, they can open just, they'll open, and then at night they kind of close down, so you get more concentrated light in that small area, and it's all for their ability to hunt. And they're considered ambush predators, which that's what most domestic cats are. Even, like I said, bobcats, lynx are in that way as well. All of the fisher cats and stuff. And they say it just makes it more easy because what it does is it's a balance for them, because it actually gives them the ability, even when they're slits at nighttime, it gives them the ability to do better depth perception is what it does. It says things seem blurry, but their depth perception gets better, and it makes them better hunters, which I thought was really, really cool, because, I was trying to figure that out. And animals, a lot of the animals, like some of the farm animals, like goats and stuff, theirs are horizontal. They're not vertical. And it's just the way that, it's the way that they see. It helps with like the same thing with the light and stuff. I mean, they're not predators, but snakes are, so you've got to figure it works the same exact way for them. But then you have the big cats like the lions and the tigers and leopards, jaguars and stuff. And theirs are the round pupil. Hey, Benno. Good to see you. Was your ears ringing? We were just talking about Australia a second ago.
Yeah, where were they?
Yes, which I actually want to do one on Australia cryptids, but I'm still gathering up all the. I do find the Queensland tiger very, very interesting, and stuff, and because there's a lot of lore that goes with that too, and a lot of stories. I should say, not so much lore as stories of what people are seeing and things. So yeah, and with the bigger ones, they have the rounder pupils, and it's because they don't need their what they said for the information was they're higher off the ground, and they don't need to. And the thing that gets me is most of these big cat predators, actually, that I know of, like cougars, and even lions will do it, as they sneak. They hunch down, and they're kind of, because they're all sneak attack. So to me, it's like, it doesn't make any sense where they're saying that the slits that are vertical for the domestic cats is to help because they're ambush predators, when all cats are technically ambush predators.
Yeah, because lions will go through tall grass, and they're literally belly to the ground when they go through the grass.
And I've seen the same thing with mountain lions. They do the same thing. They will get down on the ground, and they stretch themselves right out and stuff, and they're just right there to pounce. But they with the fact that they are as big as they are and their body mass and stuff, the light on them, they don't need it to at nighttime they can see pretty well as it is. So they don't need to adjust the light because most of the time they're hunting during the day. I know a lot of experts will tell you that like cougars are nocturnal. They'll actually hunt any time of the day. They'll hunt during the day, they'll hunt in the evening, they'll hunt at night. It doesn't matter. There's no specific time of day. And it's the same with most of the big cats. The one thing that I did find extremely kind of cool was that there's one big cat that actually has oval pupils. They're not slits and they're not round, they're oval. And that's the clouded leopards. They are the only cat with oval or oblong pupils. And the pupils stay that unique shape. And I thought that was because it doesn't have to do much. It's just even the slightest bit of light, or if they don't need it so much, they just move it just a little bit. It's oval at all times. It's not a slit and it's not rounded. And we know, like with our eyes, they will dilate, and get bigger and small, like the big cats do. But these ones stay oval, and I found that was extremely unique. That they were the only cats that had oval pupils.
Oh.
Legend of the Underwater Panther. I have not heard of the Legend of the Underwater Panther. Have you heard of that, Donna?
Oh, Mishupi. If I can spell him right. Mishupi. It's a panther that goes underwater, and I'm sure it's folklore, and it goes for its prey in like rivers, lakes. Some stories tell you it's full panther, so it's like just like a proper panther, where other stories says it's half panther, half fish.
Ooh, that sounds. Sam says that sounds interesting. Yeah, that does. I'll have to look into that. I love the stuff that you share because I've gotten so much more big cat information. And I love sharing out your stuff because your work is incredible. Even the descriptions, the details are just, you do really, really good work. Yes, I've heard of it. And it was great to look into. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do too. So thank you. I think Adam, is that his name? Adam from Entering the Unknown.
It's Adam.
Yep, Adam. Thank you, Adam. I will. We call those catfish. I've seen some catfish, man. Those suckers are not
big.
Nice. What's the hat?
They're big.
Yeah, they are. And I've seen people do that what they call them, they do noodling. And what they do is they'll stick their arm into like a one of the underwater holes there and let the catfish latch on and then bring them out. I'm like, nope, sorry, not going to do that. He said it's half panther, half reptile. From people's knowledge, from my people's knowledge. Yeah, definitely. Either way, it's still a good one to look into. There's also, I have heard of the otter man. But that one I believe though was what I have heard story wise is more of a shapeshifter type thing, but I'm not 100%. But I have heard of the otter man. Yeah, I got catfish big as buses here in the lakes. Yeah, I wouldn't go. No, I'm sorry. Those catfish they may look like they're harmless and sitting there, but damn, they can do that.
They're big.
Every time I hear, absolutely love this stuff. Seeing y'all interested, beautiful to me. Thanks again. Oh, hey, Mooncat, how are you? Octopus with no friends. You've got friends. You're here. We're all friends. It might be called the
Pushtika.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like See, and I love this because we have one topic and we try to cover what we can of it and stuff, and then other stuff is brought into it, and I just love because a lot of the stuff I haven't, and I missed the name of the cat with the oval eyes, with the oval pupils. It's the clouded leopard. They're unique in themselves. Oh yeah, the smiley face. See, we put a smile on your face there, octopus. So, if you guys have any more you want to add into it, go ahead. But curious, I am curious because Richie doesn't tell me a whole lot. So you are now part of the Banter with Richie B Podcast Network family, and I'm so happy for
Yeah.
that. So, is your show going to be similar to what you do with your posts?
No, so I'm actually doing my first show. Okay, so you can probably put it in your diaries. Is Wednesday the 26th of August, and it's just going to be an intro, basically, to what the show's going to be about. I didn't want a show where I just sit there and tell stories. Yeah, I am bringing the cryptids, and it will be a little bit of the story, but I want it more of an open topic. So, as in what people think, what do people think other people are seeing, what history have they had from like their areas, and then a couple of the cryptids, they're just too big to cover in one show. So I'm going to do like a mini series,
Ah,
particular cryptids. So that's looking at breaking it down over a 4-week period because there's things like the history behind it, then looking at witnesses, getting people onto the show. Jean, you'll be invited. Thanks for saying yes already.
no, that was great. See, that's what I mean. And I don't expect you to give everything away
Mm.
because you're going to have your introduction show. But I was curious myself on how everything was going to go. Now, at the beginning of this show too, and I want to try to find it so I can play it. Is the show was actually supposed to start up with the video that you created for Mother Earth Bigfoot Research Organization, and it did not play. I clicked it and waited. I clicked it again. It said it was on auto switch, going to play through. It didn't. So I had to go on to the next one. So I'm going to go down here to videos and see if I can find this because I want everybody who has not seen it to see this video because it is absolutely awesome. Like I said, your work is incredible, whether it's your research or your artwork, you are phenomenal. And I don't think I can say it enough. All right, so let's see. Let's play this. All right. Let's see if it's going to play for us. Awesome. Yeah, that came out so good. We're gonna remove it and get back up here. Okay, and that is all. Well, where are we? Where did we go? There we go. I was like, where'd we go?
Yeah.
Sam, don't feel bad because literally, I think it's me. Every time I go to do one of the shows, there's always something that's gotta screw up, and really, I don't know what it is, but I'm glad that played. That's all I'm going to do because when I've been trying to put photos up lately, I've had things freeze and I've been booted out. So I did not want to have that happen tonight. So I did not upload any photos. I figured it would be just what I like to normally do, because my show isn't a whole lot of, this, that, and everything else. I just like to discuss the research. I like to discuss topics that other people bring up. Like I said, D Hoot had brought this one up a while ago, and I thought it was interesting. And then previously Possessed had sent me um, that other video there that was, talking about all these other theories and thoughts and stuff on it. And yeah, makes me want to dance. I know that the music is very catchy. I was like, okay, Banter. Jean. What did I do? I got Jean. Yes, Adam, we can't wait either. It's going to be phenomenal being able to have other researchers be able to discuss the different topics, the different cryptids, the sightings, the research that they're doing, and being able to connect with others all over the world. I mean, it's phenomenal. It's going to be a great thing. Richie's done a lot. I've said that before with just being part of the Richie B family. Thankfully, the Vogels had introduced us, and I'm very happy they did, because I would not be doing any of this. I would still be, doing my research, but I never shared a whole lot. And that's a lot to do with the fact that, even it was discussed today, you get the BS so much, and there's only so much you can take. So I'm thankful to have such a great family backing, and then being able to meet other people through them. I mean, we've got such a great thing. And make sure, that's why I tell everybody too, is make sure, like with Curious Cryptids, you're on Facebook, right?
I am.
Okay. Are you on any other platform?
I'm on Facebook. I've now got Instagram. I'm on TikTok, and I have got a YouTube channel. There's one little short on there. That's all.
All right. Well, you make sure that you go over to Curious's wherever she's at platforms, and like, subscribe, whatever you got to do, follow, do that. It's the same thing with Sam's Pretty Paranormal, Banter with Richie B. You got Home of the Boom on that as well. Then you've got the Lowdown. You've got the Papa Squatch Productions, Entering the Unknown. We just want to make sure that, we all research well together. We all respect each other, and know that you're never, ever, ever, ever going to agree 100% all the time. But it doesn't mean that you have to be disrespectful. You just have, and my thing is, it was like when I sat down with my state biologist, we agreed to disagree. There was no compromise whatsoever. We just agreed to disagree, and we did it just that way. So I know that Richie always yells at me, because he's like, you don't go over your time. And I'm not going to, because you're already up really, really late. I was very thankful that you said you'd do this. I offered to do a different time, but you were like, no, You're going to have tomorrow. You're taking tomorrow.
I'm off.
Yes, that's what I thought, taking tomorrow off. So that is awesome. Now, with the research and stuff there, the Curious Cryptids and all this stuff, where, I'm just curious, because you have got a lot of stuff out there. Where do you find this stuff?
So, obviously, like the Egyptian stuff and the Egyptian cryptids and the African stuff is because, obviously, I lived in Egypt. So, speaking to people out there, do you know what I mean? And I still do have contacts. My old job, I was very, very lucky that I managed to go all around the world. So for me, it wasn't really about cryptids and things at first. For me, it was going out into culture, speaking to people, gathering their stories. And it's only when I travelled down into Africa where I learned all about things that they called cryptids. So I've gathered a lot of information over the years as well, reaching out to people. So, like doing research, like I look into something. If there's any names there, any witness names, I try and find out where the witnesses are. Going to all the different universities, where are the archives? So just reaching out to different people. I've now got a community myself on Facebook, and I reach out to people like that. So I'll have people messaging me saying, "Oh, have you heard about this cryptid? I've seen this," and it's like, right, let me speak to you. Let me get some information. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Mm.
So when I say that, research, a lot of times you deep dive in. You definitely deep dive in, which is what you have to do. I mean, and that's actually really cool. You lived in Egypt for a while, or
Yeah.
yeah.
For about 2 years, I lived out in Egypt. My original job was archaeology and Egyptology, so I moved out to Egypt for a couple of years, and I have been back a few times as well. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like a second home.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like home, and I don't know if that's because that's where it all started. I actually wanted to be Indiana Jones when I was little.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, what was your first job?
Archaeologist.
Okay. Yeah. I feel dwarfed here. Oh my goodness. That is really cool. Like, see, I'm learning so much more about you, and now I'm even in awe. It's like, yeah.
Picking up dead
Um,
bodies.
but yeah, so I am gonna probably cut it down because I know you were already watching um Entering the Unknown earlier. Then you had your meeting with Richie, and you've been so courteous and kind to be a guest on my show. And I really, really appreciate that. And I love the collaboration. Thank you so much for doing that. I cannot wait to find out the surprise date of when your show is going to start and stuff, and be able to follow along and make sure once you get out there, everybody, you better be hitting like and subscribe and whatever you need to follow Curious, because Curious is a wealth of knowledge. I used to want to be Indiana Jones. Oh, that's funny. Do you have any books out about?
Books.
Oh, shoot. Do you want to know if you have any books out?
No, I do have a book out. It's not about the places I've been though. So I wrote a book about Bigfoot, a beginner's guide to Bigfoot, shall I say. So for somebody like me that was coming into the field, so like I said, it was never about cryptids. But then I did a couple of boots on the ground. Met, I might as well say the name. So I met Matt Moneymaker, and did a couple of boots on the ground with him. Shall we say it didn't go very well? And I still reached out to him when I was thinking about writing the book. And basically he told me I couldn't write a book because I didn't have enough knowledge and I didn't have books on the ground. But my response back to him was, I spent 30 years in the field, because even though that wasn't my job, I toured the world, gathered all the information. Do you know what I mean? And people spoke about Bigfoot all across the globe. So I had gathered all the information together. But the book is more about, like Dee said, about the places I've been. Yeah, at the beginning of the book, there are different countries in the world, and it tells you all about the country. So it's like a little mini tour guide, if you will. It tells you all about the country, tells you about the people, what's there to go and see, what these animals can eat. And then the book kind of goes on to what people call him in these different countries, and it's got folklore in there as well. It's got my own stuff in there, what I've had on my Curious Cryptids page. So there's little excerpts of that on it. And then I did a little bit at the end about what people believe that Bigfoot is to be. Do you know what I mean? It's not necessarily, it breaks it down basically. So you've got your flesh and blood camp, you've got your interdimensional camp. People are saying it's government conspiracy, it was an experiment, is it a relic hominid? And it just did a little bit about each of those. So it's for somebody that's first coming into this. So you might say, like, it could be for kids, if you will. So somebody that's just getting into the knowledge, it's just a little bit of knowledge about that.
That's awesome though, because that's what I would want to know coming into it. Okay. Like I said, I mean, I've researched it enough. I know that, every place around the world, they have their own version and stuff, but it's nice to know like what they call it, what they've seen, what they think and stuff. And to actually be able to accumulate that on your own and put it into a book and describe the areas, the people, and then break it down into, some thought it was this, or, some thought it was, paranormal, interdimensional, whatever. I mean, that's phenomenal in itself. I mean, to me, that is like a very key thing to have to read, to get some type of knowledge. Like you said, it's a good beginner thing because it gives you right out through, all over the world, the places you've been, you've talked to the people. It's not like, you're sitting down going, okay, here's some old newspaper articles. This person, this article was written about this. And okay, so another one was, you're actually talking to people. You're going to the places. You're getting the information. That is great. Jared wants to know where you can find the book.
It's on Amazon.
Oh, it is. What is the title of the book?
I got a copy. There you go. Oh, where's the camera? That's the big version.
Oh, Bigfoot beginners. Oh, that's it. That's good. See, I think, yeah.
It's like an A4. I don't know if you have them in America. Do you know, like at Christmas, people used to bring out like A4, like if it was a football club or a hockey team, they'd bring out their annual every year. Well, it's the same size as an annual.
Yeah. You brought up the name in Richie's venting. That's like the third. That's the third post that I've seen.
Yeah.
So if you missed that, D Hoot, you can find the book on Amazon. It's Bigfoot Guide for Beginners. And yeah, now that I've seen what it looks like, I'm going to be getting me a copy because yeah, I think that that's great. I have nephews, young nephews, because I take my nephews out. I take my friend Sam's daughter Lucy out. They love it out there, and they love looking and exploring and figuring, different things out, trying to learn more. And the boys are right into Bigfoot. I think that would be a great thing for them to read, to kind of get a better idea and perspective on things. Because a lot of times, I've been adamant about, the way that I research it and stuff. He's flesh and blood. He's flesh and blood. But now that I'm part of this family, there's a lot of questions that I can't answer, saying he's just flesh and blood. So this is what's good. I mean, I still focus the research on the animal aspect of it because that's what I'm more comfortable with. You start getting into things where you're talking interdimensional or different stuff. I'm not comfortable with that because I don't know anything about that. So, but I can't say that I can't question things that I don't understand, because there's a lot out there that we don't understand. And we're all learning. We're all learning together. I don't do Amazon.
Yeah.
Can I purchase it from CC666? I don't know what that is. Oh, I think she wants to know if she can purchase it from you.
Let me look into that for you, D Hoot. What I might do is, if I send a digital copy to Sam, because Sam's got D Hoot's email. So if I send a digital copy over,
Sam, she's talking to you.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of writing another book on Dogman at the minute.
Oh, Richie's favorite topic.
Oh, he gets a raw deal.
Oh, yeah,
Sam's
I
got
got, yeah.
Deets info, so
Okay,
yeah, I'll send a digital copy, and get that sent over.
all right. All right. Now that we've got that all straightened out, guys, I want to thank everybody for being here. I can send it to her curious, no problem. Okay. I want to thank everybody for being here. It was a great show. The chat was amazing. My collaborator tonight, Miss Donna, was amazing as well. Thank you so much for being here. And I really cannot wait for your show. I'm
It was a
super, super,
pleasure.
super, super excited. So remember Tuesday night to check out Wojo's Home of the Boom at 7 p.m. with his co-host, Mr. Richie B. Friday night is Sam's Pretty Paranormal at 9 p.m. Not sure what Sam's got planned, but it's always fun. And then, of course, the big boss man, Mr. Richie B, is back Saturday night with his show, Banter with Richie B, and his co-host, Wojo. I will see you next Sunday. Not sure what I'm going to be doing. But hey, you want to help me with this? In life
We
and
just went, what?
when it comes to, yeah, when it comes to research and sometimes in life, once in a while, you just got to say, what
What
the
the
hell?
hell?
Yay! Thank you guys. You guys have a great night.
Bye, guys.
All right, stream is ending.